Welcome into Duval Daily, presented by GinJag.com. I'm Jordan Luga. Thanks so much for tuning in here on Wednesday, November 6th. Are we at the halfway point of the 2024 NFL season? Tough to say. 17-game schedule. Was 8 games in halfway? 9 games in? We're going to say right now is the midseason point for the Jaguars, which feels like it's been decades and decades long. This brutal season. 2-7 the Jaguars are to start this season. And it feels inevitable at this point, with the Vikings, Lions, and Texans up next on the schedule, that the Jaguars are probably going to be mathematically eliminated at some point soon from the playoff picture. So not a lot to feel great about right now if you're a Jaguars fan, but I did want to take a look at some midseason awards because there are performances that deserve to be talked about in a positive manner. We will get to some negative performances as well, negative awards at the end, but we'll start with the positives. The Jaguars, as I've told y'all a lot lately, even with the discord and dysfunction within the coaching staff, front office, as long as Shad Khan does clean house, this should be a very attractive job. You have your quarterback, you have a lot of talent around the quarterback, young talent, and guys on second contracts that are playing very well. You have cap space, you have draft capital, you have an owner willing to spend. So there's reasons to be positive, and we're going to talk about some of those reasons here, right? We're going to start with the MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, then Offensive Player of the Year. Move on, Most Improved on both sides, Comeback Player, a couple guys that just deserve to be praised, and then a Most Positive Coach and Most Disappointing Coach. Really appreciate y'all being here. If you enjoy the content, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You can also check out ginjag.com/shop, pick up some new Duval gear, become a channel member here on YouTube. So, mid-season awards. Most Valuable Player. For me, and this might be controversial, I don't know. Would love to know what y'all think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below on who the MVP for the Jaguars has been so far this year. For me, there's really not much of a debate. It's Trevor Lawrence. Who has been the catalyst in the games that the Jaguars have won? The 2 games that they have won? Trevor Lawrence. Both of those wins, they put up a ridiculous amount of points. And then in the games they've lost, which again, 7 losses. What has Trevor Lawrence done? I think in those 7 losses, he's played winning football in 5 of those football games. Played very good against the Dolphins. Struggled for a half against the Cleveland Browns. Had some ups and downs against the Texans. But since then, Trevor Lawrence has been money, right? Led them to a win against the Colts. And, of course, Bills. So, 4-3. He's played winning football and very good winning football in 4 of the 7 losses the Jaguars have had so far. So you look at that. You add 4 wins to what they've got going on right now, and they're sitting at 6-3 based on the way Trevor Lawrence has played. Again, winning football against the Dolphins, no doubt about it. Winning football against the Chicago Bears. No question in my mind about that. That game was lost by the defense and the receivers dropping touchdown passes, right? Then you look at what happened against the Packers. Winning football. He played good against the Eagles as well, right? So very frustrating for Trevor Lawrence. But you look at what he's actually done. Deep ball passing, best in the league. Best in the league. Adjusted completion percentage when you account for the 17 drops by his receivers so far. 71 point something percent. He has been gutsy running the football as well. He's been putting his team in positions to compete in football games. And again, this is most valuable player, not best player. Because I will say, I don't think he has been the best player at his position on the team. I think there's guys at other positions, not many, but a couple guys at other positions that are playing as good or better than Trevor Lawrence. And we're going to talk about those guys. But most valuable, if you take him away from this football team, what are they? gosh, I don't know. I mean, we've seen a lot of other of their really good players miss games and not much changes. You take Trevor Lawrence out of this lineup, it would be atrocious football. So yeah, Trevor Lawrence is my midseason MVP. Um, he's played good football overall. Has he been perfect? No, no, he has not. But he is playing good football, and he is the most valuable player because if you again take him away, the baseline of what I mean, I think this team, if this team had average quarterback play, they would probably be 0-9. Honestly, defensive player of the year for me. This one might be controversial too. I don't know. I think a lot of people would put Trayvon Walker in this slot, but for me, I still think Josh Hines Allen is the defensive player of the year. I think that both of those guys are doing a very good job against the run overall. Josh Hines Allen is more consistently pressuring the quarterback. And when you look at the sack numbers, right? Trayvon Walker has, looking at the base stats, Trayvon Walker has more sacks than Josh Allen, right? Trayvon Walker has 6.5 sacks. Josh Hines Allen has 5 sacks. But when you look at how many sacks they've been involved with, both of them have been involved in 6 sacks so far this year. And one of those Trayvon Walker sacks was really just at the against the Dolphins, Tua sliding at the line basically, and Trayvon Walker being the closest guy to him. So numbers can lie to you a little bit when you look at the sack numbers. I think that Josh Hines Allen has been a better pass rusher than Trayvon Walker. I do. And I think he's been just as good as a run defender. I think that overall he's playing more consistent. So Josh Hines Allen is my defensive player of the year so far. Now, there's some guys that had they been playing the entire year, they might have a real argument for that. But Josh Hines Allen's been out there all year. And there's a couple guys playing really good football that haven't been due to injuries. So Josh Hines Allen is my defensive player of the year. Offensive player of the year. So it's not going to be a double up award. It's not going to be Trevor Lawrence again. So who is the offensive player of the year? For me, I got to give it to Brian Thomas Jr. He's been active. Has he been targeted as much as he should be? No, but on the targets he has received, he's making the most of them. He's dropped a couple too many passes. He's dropped 4 passes and, drop rate a little bit over 10%. But some of the plays he has made down the field, like that, that catch against Christian Gonzalez was unbelievable. And he's found the end zone a ton, 5 touchdown catches. He's averaging 17 yards a catch. He is bringing a vertical passing element to the Jaguars offense. And again, Trevor Lawrence is so good at passing the ball deep down the field, and Brian Thomas Jr. is one of the guys that's actually helping him in that regard. And now he is double clutching it a little bit too much. He is, again, dropping the football a little bit. But I think if the Jaguars continue to target this guy, and they need to target him a lot more than they have in the back half of the season, in my opinion. Doug Peterson talks about cloud coverage. Guess what? You can move guys around the formation. You can absolutely do that. So, and I thought it was pretty damning that Doug Peterson said that they didn't expect the Eagles to basically double cover Brian Thomas Jr. He's your only receiving target at wide receiver, the only one. Yet you don't expect them to give him extra attention. That doesn't make any sense to me. But BTJ as a rookie has been incredibly productive. Again, 5 touchdown catches. That's huge. The yards, the yards per catch, it's been really impressive, and he's been open on a lot of plays that they have not targeted him. So they got to continue to try to get him the ball even more. in my opinion. Going to get to the rest of this list, but first, y'all got to check out Underdog Fantasy for Pick'em Best Ball a whole lot more. You can use code Duval Daily on their easy-to-use mobile app or UnderdogFantasy.com, and Underdog will give you a free pick to use on your first cash pick'em entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. This season, Underdog is running a special promo or bonus almost every single day, like Profit Boosts. Pump up your winnings in just a tap when you apply the boost to eligible entries. There's going to be tons of options for Jaguars and Vikings. Maybe you like Trevor Lawrence to have a big day through the air. Maybe not against Brian Flores' defense. You make the call, right? Make it on Underdog. You want to pick a running back like Tank Bigsby to score a touchdown, maybe Aaron Jones. Underdog has vulture protection to rescue your pick'em. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code Duval Daily to claim your new customer special of a free pick and your deposit offer. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. Arizona 1-800-NEXT-STEP. That's 1-800-639-8783 or text NEXT STEP to 53342. New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. Shout out to Underdog Fantasy. So let's get into some most improved players, shall we? Offensive most improved player, got to be Tank Bigsby for me. What he's been doing on the ground has been so impressive for the Jaguars. And not only has he improved this year compared to last year, he's improved throughout the season as he gets more reps in this offense. I think you've seen his vision and patience improve. He's always been running like a tank, running through tackles and showing explosiveness and all that good stuff. But his vision has improved. I think what he's done in the passing game has improved, both as a pass catcher and in pass protection. He's done some good things in pass protection for the Jacksonville Jaguars over the last several weeks. Is he perfect? No. He's a second-year player that is contributing a lot more positive than negative to the Jaguars offense right now. And he needs to be the Jaguars starting running back moving forward, bar none, right? That's how I see it. Most improved player on the defensive side of the ball is probably the one that a lot of folks wanted to see as defensive MVP so far. It's Trayvon Walker. And he certainly started improving last year in a big way. I mean, the guy had over 10 sacks last year. But he's on pace to shatter that in 2024. And he's doing a great job against the run. He's among the league leaders when it comes to run defense win rate, run stuff rate, stops. At the line of scrimmage, Trayvon Walker's doing a great job, and he's doing a better job not only using his bull rush, using that length and power and athleticism, but also using some counters, both with his hands and his feet, right? You've seen him start out with that bull rush and get offensive tackles a little bit scared, and then he can counter off of that in a few different ways and use his agility as well to cross the face of tackles and guards. So Trayvon Walker has been doing a really good job developing into a more complete edge rusher. It was always going to take some time for him, and he's playing good football for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Bottom line, very impactful player for the Jaguars. And then one reason maybe you could give him the MVP is a play that probably shouldn't have happened. I think Saquon Barkley was down. Whatever. That run back by Trayvon Walker was insane. And maybe the Jaguars need to be getting him some reps on offense. I don't know. But that was absolutely unbelievable against the Philadelphia Eagles. Comeback player of the year is an interesting one. And for me, it's going to be Ezra Cleveland. He missed some time last year. Pretty much as soon as he got to Jacksonville, he was injured. And so a lot of Jags fans never, in a Jaguars uniform, never really saw him play very well, right? But he comes in this year, and the Jaguars re-signed him, and I know that was met with a fair amount of criticism, saying the Jaguars should be upgrading that. He's been good. He's been darn good for the Jags. Perfect? No, but he's been very good. Just playing better football. And he's been good in the run game. He's been good in pass protection. So, Ezra Cleveland, congratulations. You're the comeback player of the year so far for the Jacksonville Jaguars. A couple players that not necessarily getting awards here, but they've missed some time, but they're playing really well overall. Foye Oluokun, Tyson Campbell, Evan Ingram. Yeah, Evan has had a fumble and a drop. Those were costly mistakes, but overall, Evan Ingram is such a positive for this Jacksonville Jaguars offense and really helps Trevor Lawrence out in a big way. And then defensively, Tyson Campbell, when he's been out there on the field this year, he's basically been a shut down corner. He has been really, really strong. And Foye Oluokun, same thing at linebacker, just making pretty much every play there is to be made. Doing a really good job for that defense. So those are some guys that have missed some time this year. Maybe if they hadn't missed time, the Jaguars season would be going a little bit differently. I do think that the defense has a better chance with Tyson on the field, but when offenses know they can just target whoever Ronald Darby's covering, that's a little bit of a concern. Rookie of the year, right? Which is not going to be Brian Thomas Jr., because he already won Offensive Player of the Year. I think the Rookie of the Year beyond that is clearly Jarian Jones or Cam Little. Both of them are playing good football. We'll give a dual award. Jarian Jones and Cam Little. Cam Little's been playing a lot better Jarian Jones has been playing a lot better as of late as he gets more reps at nickel. I think he's doing a tremendous job. He's still a rookie. There's still some mistakes on tape. And nickel is a hard position to play mentally and physically, but he's doing a really good job for this Jaguars defense. I think he can be looked at as a future, building block as their nickel for the next several years at the very least. And then Cam Little been playing good football for them as a kicker too. So both of those guys deserve a lot of credit. Best coach, certainly not either of the coordinators or the head coach. We've talked about them really having issues this year. Certainly wouldn't go with the D-line performance, although you've got good edge play. Linebackers have been up and down, but in coverage they've had some struggles outside of Foye. Wide receivers are still dropping the ball quite a bit. So whose coaching impact has been Phil Rauscher maybe. And I know a lot of people wanted him gone, but I think this offensive line is performing fairly well for the Jaguars overall. And I do think that they improved their run blocking. I think that they improved the run game as a whole. I think that in pass protection, they've been decent. And this is not like, I think Phil Rauscher deserves to go be an offensive coordinator or get promoted or anything. But when you look at all the different position groups and who's performed the best and who had the furthest to go, I do think the offensive lines played a lot better. So credit to Phil Rauscher in that regard. Most disappointing coach. This is an interesting one because obviously I think that Doug Peterson, most of the blame for this from a coaching standpoint falls on him, but Ryan Nielsen, the expectations compared to what fans have gotten, it's got to be Ryan Nielsen. A lot of fans were already out on Doug and press and all that. But Ryan Nielsen, folks expected him to be able to come in and get this defense really humming. I do think he's been hamstrung a little bit, maybe a lot of it, by the cornerback position, outside cornerback, missing Tyson Campbell for so long, and then Ronald Darby and Buster Brown being starters and not really being able to cover at a very high level. But Nielsen has had issues of his own when it comes to the sub packages, when it comes to the crazy rotations, Eric Armstead playing edge instead of on the interior. It's been ugly. It's been pretty ugly. And I don't think he was given the best group, the best situation possible, but I don't think he's made the most out of the situation he's in either. I really do not. So he's been the most disappointing coach for me. But, Doug Peterson and Press Taylor. Yikes. Not been good for them either. But we've talked about that a lot. Talked about all these coaches a lot. That'll do it. Midseason awards. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoy the content, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You can also check out ginjag.com/shop, pick up some new Duval gear, become a channel member here on YouTube. Y'all have a good one.